Have you recently purchased a new or used vehicle, or perhaps you're researching for a new or used vehicle, but you're wondering how to set up and use all the technology that we find in a driver's information system and the infotainment screen? If so, you're at the right place. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today I'm going to show you how to do just that. But before I do, take a moment to give us a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get started.
Today we're working with our friends at Maury's Genesis of St. Louis Park, Minnesota.
Today we are in the 2021 Genesis GV80. All right, so on the dashboard itself, you do have an analog speedometer, an analog fuel gauge, and then the rest is digital. So kind of in the middle, you'll see like a typical driver's information screen, and then over to the right where it says the vehicle will be turned off automatically, you will see an RPM gauge that shows up right there. All right, on the steering wheel itself, to control the driver's information screen, you're going to use primarily just two buttons. You're going to use this menu button up here and then this rotary OK button right here. So if you push the menu button, you get three different screens. So there's this one, which is your safety systems. You get over here, you get this as your navigation, and then over here you get a whole bunch of different screens that you can scroll through. So I'm going to start right here. Now with your safety systems here, if we were driving, this would be your lane keeping assist. It would be your highway driving assist. It would be also your gap setting for the cruise control. So that won't show up right now while we're sitting here, but that's what it does. If you turn on the steering wheel assist here or turn it off, then what you do is you just get a bigger picture of the car, and then this one turns on the steering assist. So if you start to cross the line, it'll actually move the steering wheel for you. Now, if I press the menu button again, this is where your directions for turn by turn would come from the navigation. And if I push it one more time, then you get these screens. So let me just go to the top here. So you get fuel economy, driving info, accumulated info for trip and average miles per gallon, attention level, tire pressure, engine temperature, and then right here I can customize. So if I push OK, I can select my heads-up display, which is a 12-inch display. All right, so from here, if you click on that, you can turn your heads-up display on or off. And then, of course, if you scroll down one more, oops, I lost my screen there for a minute. You can also have driver assistance settings. All right, to turn cruise control on is just simply pressing this mode button right here, and you'll see it come on the dashboard, but you do have to hold it for a bit or it doesn't come on. And then here I can set or lower the cruise control speed. Okay. And then I can click it if I want to like resume it or pause it. So that's just a click of this button. Okay, so the mode and the favorite button are customizable. In order to set this, I have to press and hold. All right, then I get this showing up. So over here, I use my infotainment controls, and I can select all the things that I want my mode button to do. Like I want to do Bluetooth audio and FM and AM and Sirius XM and USB, USB video, phone projection, sounds of nature. But I can just choose one of them. Okay, now if I press the mode button, I can cycle all the way through all those things I just check marked. Okay, now if I press the favorites button and hold it down, now I can customize what I want my favorite button to do. So right now I have it set to do passenger talk, but you could set it to say voice memo. But on this button you get one choice. It does one thing. So now if I just press and hold the start button once and let it go, now I've got the passenger talk on, and you can hear me coming through the speakers in the car. At least in here you can. Then I just push it again to end it. Okay, so that's those two that are programmable. All right, now we're going to take a look at the infotainment screen. All right, so this is a 14.5-inch screen. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It has Bluetooth, AM and FM radio, HD radio, and Sirius XM. And the screen obviously is longer than it is tall, but it makes for a fairly large screen in here. Now, it is a touch screen, and you can run it that way, but it's a little bit of a stretch. I found it easiest just to run it from the controller that's in the center console here. So you've got simple, you've got power to volume, and then you've got tune, then you've got back, home, and menu, and then this is your cursor controls. However, let's go for an example here. Let's go to setup, and I'm going to click in the center to activate whatever app I'm on. I click in the center here. Now, you notice you've got this menu, right? So if I want to scroll through this menu, I just rotate my dial. If I want to select something, let's say vehicle, I click in the center. Okay, now this is where I went into, and this is some other options. So if I scroll through, I can see other things. Let's say that I want to go over here. I click the center again. So you get the idea about how to move to the right. The question is how to move to the left. And to do that, what you're going to do is use your back button. Okay, now we're on driver assistance and we were on vehicle. So if I click it again, go back into setup, I'm on vehicle. For some reason, if I just press my left arrow, it doesn't take me backwards. So use that back button. Then you just press the setup again and then you're back. I'm not sure why we can't get back to that screen, but you can just by going to the icon and clicking on it again. But that is the way it works. So to start with here, I'm just going to go back here. All right, so this right here is just kind of like that's another home screen. You got a little picture of a city there, and then your temperature. It's kind of like a calm screen a little bit. Then if I go here to map, I can just scroll through all of my apps right here. And as I keep going, the screen will switch over to all these different ones. And there's one more screen yet. Okay. By clicking on the menu button right here, you can go to split screen and you can pick, the different things that show up on that screen as well. And then if I hit display off, the whole screen goes black. And then to activate again, you just simply touch it. If you want to reorder the icons, you can press and hold and then drag them to a new position so that your most favorite ones are the first ones that you see. So now, let's go through some of these. So for instance, your navigation. It's always fun to take a look at navigation screens. All right, so right here, I can zoom in and zoom out with the rotary knob. Okay, I can use my cursor controls to go up and do a search, add home, add work, that kind of stuff. I can also move over here just by pressing on this silver dial to navigation volume, and I can then scroll down to mute or navigation volume priority. I'm going to use the back button here. You can use voice command also to select a navigation.
Please say a command.
Find a gas station.
Please say the line number.
1.
You will be guided to the first destination on the list.
I gotta say, I kind of like that voice. It's much more natural sounding. To cancel a route, you're gonna go down to the menu button that's down here, and I'm using my scrolling dial to do that. Click on menu, click on route, click on cancel route. All right, so there is actually a split screen view that you can do. If you click on this arrow, it brings up another screen, and then you can just scroll through the different things that you would want to show in this window, including navigation. So I'm going to go back to home for a minute, and I'm going to go to HD radio. Okay, so on media here, I've got AM, FM, and then I've got Sirius XM. So I can rotate between those ones right here. And then you can see the numbers changing here. If I want to tune, I'm going to use my little rotary dial. And then they've got a kind of a fun little speedometer setting in the middle for that. Is also just another way to show your radio station. If you want to take a look at the menu here, then you can scroll down here and you could enter a station. You can look at station lists. You can have radio noise control, scan, save as preset, delete, sound settings, and then a manual. If I click on sound settings here a minute, you can get different possibilities, lots and lots. And then if you want to go to one, you click on it, and then you can use the same rotary dial to move it around and change the sound. All right, if you want to look at the band, there's another way to do it, AM, FM, and Sirius XM. All right, if you can use the voice command, you of course got the clock up there. So let's go back one, and let's go to just media. So this is the calming music that you might have read about that you can have in here. You can have rainy day, you can have our lively forest, you can have calm sea waves, you can have rainy day. Actually, that sounds kind of good, doesn't it? Especially with the speakers in here. Warm fire and snowy village. No, I don't want that one. All right, so you can have this play as you're driving. Now you notice that right now this screen is showing the same thing, but if I click on it and I say, well, I want this one to run my navigation, I can have it do that. Oh, I think it was the top screen here. Yeah. So then I can have that split view. So I can have something over here and still have something over there. All right, let's go back. All right, let's switch over here to Genesis Connected Services. That's not active, we can't do that, but there's a lot of nice services you can get through that. Phone projection. So if I connected my phone to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, then that would show up right there. Voice memo. You can make a voice memo if you want. We're going to leave setup alone for now. There's the sounds of nature we just saw. You have a valet mode, and then if you get to your seat here and we click, all right, so you get passenger seat control. So we can look here, and I can scroll over. I can do the fore and aft position. So on this, what you have to do then is actually push the arrows on the screen to make the seats move. So if I want to go to seat recline, I can do all those things right there. So tons of ways to control your passenger seat, but it's a combination here. It's either all touch or a combination of the physical controller and then the touch screen. That's a lot of different ways to control. It's nice to be able to have that. Passenger talk, you saw that. Quiet mode. Okay, when in quiet mode, okay, we just have a basic screen. Okay, and then your volume will be limited to 7. Notice navigation window is still showing. All right, you can adjust the climate in the infotainment screen if you want, but you have all the same settings right down here. The extra ones that you have in here are the climate settings. You can set these on or off right here. So these are under just climate settings. You can smart ventilation, defog, defrost, auto defog, indirect ventilation, lock rear climate controls if you don't want the people messing with those. And then although you don't have a physical way to control the rear climate, you can do it through here, and then you can control that. So if you have kids that are too small to run that, then you can do it for them up here. All right, let's go back and scroll here. All right, you can have some notifications. This would be typically like vehicle notifications, oil changes, that kind of stuff. And then you do have an onboard manual. Okay, you have a web manual. You've got for navigation, you've got a vehicle quick guide, and then a handwriting manual if you want to try to do handwriting instead of like typing in the letters like for navigation. Now let's go back to setup. So under vehicle here, if I use my right arrow, I get driver assistance. This is where some of your safety systems are. So if I click again, smart cruise control. Smart cruise control actually learns how you drive and then mimics your driving when the smart cruise control is activated. It's very, very interesting. You got driving convenience. So we can set the properties there, and we can do that just by pushing on this center button. You can have highway driving assist on, highway lane change assist on, and highway auto speed change. And there's a description of what it does, but a simple click takes it off. You can set a warning timing if you want to, as far as how soon do you want a notification when the driver attention and forward safety systems are operating. You can set the warning volume. You can set the haptic warning with the vibrating steering wheel. You can set driver attention warning. So do you want to notice when the lead vehicle departs out of your way, so you know you got to pay attention to the cruise, or do you also want an inattentive driving warning, on or off? Forward safety active assist. Okay, you can have that on, warning only, or off. And again, all you got to do is press the right arrow, go over to it, click on the thing you want, click. Of course, I'm going to leave it there. You got lane safety, off or on. You've got blind spot safety, active assist. Again, and then you can just, all these spots where you can turn them on or off. And then parking safety. You can go into that further, and you can set your property of your camera. Okay. All right, so let's go back here to drive modes. Okay, you can customize the drive mode on here, and you could do things like a powertrain, steering, suspension, and all-wheel drive. And all you have to do is just, once you're on something, click in the center, and then select the thing that you want by clicking on the center again. Active sound design. I mean, there's so many things. We can't go through all of them, but the one I want to kind of concentrate on for a minute is the heads-up display. So you can enable and disable it from the driver's information screen, but you can do that here as well. But here's the display control. So I can adjust the height, okay? And then if I go down, I can adjust the rotation. So I can move it left or right. And these are really helpful controls, especially if you, depending on where you sit in the seat. And then we have a brightness and a dimness control. So as far as in the cluster here, you've got service interval, reset fuel economy, content selection. So if I go over here, I can have wiper lights display, I can have traffic signs displayed, and I can do an IC warning limit, warning on or off. And so this is all stuff that's showing up in the driver's information screen. So it's not showing up here, but you control it from here. All right, I'm going to hit the back button. All right, I'm going to hit the back button one more time. All right, so we've already gone through some of these. You've seen the seat adjustments here, but under seats, the one thing that we can do here, okay, is you can set the different alerts. You can do a switch touch alert or switch control alert just by clicking on here. Smart Posture Care. Now, Smart Posture Care is an interesting feature. What it does is you are going to have to enter your information, and then it's going to adjust the seat automatically according to your height and size to the best driving position for you. Now that is interesting here. I'm going to use the back button here again. Seat heater balance. Hey, this has heated backs and cushions, so here's where you adjust this. So you got easy access. So that's when you they stop the car and you open the door, the steering wheel goes up, it goes in, the seat slides back. The thing I like about this car is that it has the same thing on the passenger side. Never seen that before. So they can have easy enter exit as well. You've got an Ergo motion seat. So you can have a comfortable stretch. You can change that between normal and strong. You can change the operational time. If I go up one more here and press, so 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 20 minutes. Let's press back. Let's press back again. You also have just smart support. Okay, so that adjusts the seat support according to the drive mode and the speed. So like automatically tension up your seat when you're in sport mode. So some pretty really neat stuff right there. I'm gonna hit the back button again. I'm gonna hit the back button one more time. All right. Now I can go. So hit it one more time here. Go to navigation. Okay, here's where you can change some of the settings in your navigation as far as your display. You want a 3D north up or whatever you want to avoid, toll roads, that kind of stuff. This is where you would go over and then change those different things. Okay, you can get at your sounds right here, where we already saw that through the when we were on the media page. Device connection, that's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if everyone in your car had Android Autos, you could disable the Apple CarPlay if you wanted. And then you can set user profiles here that will set up, you know, your climate, your presets on your media, your seat, your steering wheel, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about the camera. So this does have the 360 surround camera view. So if I put it into reverse, you'll see my backup camera here. You see the 360 view there. It does have dynamic swivel guidelines. Okay, and then of course you can click up here and you get a couple of different views. So this just shows a close-up of the back. That's just straight behind me. And that's just a much wider view. So right side of my vehicle, left side of my vehicle. I can also do this and spin my car around, which is really kind of neat. That I've not seen before. I've seen it do automatically, but not where you can spin it with your hand. And then you've got a setting wheel here where you can say turn on or off top view parking guidance, rear view parking guidance, and parking distance warning. You can also go into your display settings, change the brightness for day, brightness for night, and the contrast. Okay, I'm just going to press the home button again, put the car in park, because the other way to access all those cameras is to hit the park assist button. Okay, so if I just click that on, I get my cameras right away. So if I switch into drive, I now get the front camera. All right, and then you have the same, the same choices here. So this is a close-up of the front. You have a kind of an average angle. Then you have a wide angle, left tire, right tire. Okay, so that's really handy when you're parking. It does have a dynamic swivel guideline in the front as well, and you can see them in both screens. Now, if I press and hold the camera button, now I've entered into parking assist. Now this car will, either with you in it or not in it, will automatically parallel or perpendicular park. You can use the remote to do that. I had asked the dealer for some instruction and some training on that before you do that, but it can do that. This car can also pull straight forward and straight backwards just with the key fob. The unique thing, I guess, about this parking system, auto parking system, is that it does everything. It runs your steering wheel, your throttle, your brake, and your gears. That's a rare find, and that's just really neat. I like that. All right, so I'm just going to put it back into park here, and then to cancel this, you just click up here. If you want to set your clock in here, just click on the clock, and then the settings come up. So overall, a really nice screen. It's again longer than it is wide, but you certainly have plenty of options in there. And I do like the split screen with the extra window on the side. I really like that. All right, I hope you've enjoyed our video. Thanks for watching.